how to make medication refills and approve medications that the receptionists have put through properly for us. So there are bits here that we are going to need to remember to do regularly through the day as a vet, or if you know you've got 5 minutes between things, if you've been on ops and there's time blocked out after ops and you're under control. The communication tab does need checking, but that's going to be a different video. But medications is what we're looking at today. So from the dashboard where you're looking at the waiting room list already, so we'll have this up. If you click into medications, you will then be able to see a list of medications. I would probably suggest the best way of looking at this normally is with hide, approve, already ticked. What you can then see here is which ones still need approving. It may have some notes on there. It may be that you want to put notes on when you're going in. It will say who the owner is, who the animal is. It should have a consult number tied to it. We need to make sure that everything we prescribe has a consult number tied to it, or insurance can't claim it. And it will either say ezyvet, which will say where do we need that label printing up to, or it will say your name. What we want to make sure, which I'm currently not, is you need to be logged into the right department in the right inventory. For the site that you're about to fill in the meds for, you can be a hero and go in and do other sites' meds. As long as you change what site you're logged into, you can do it from anywhere. And if you do that, you also need to click into the printers section and make sure that your printers are set up correctly, which mine probably are not. But yeah, so you can then go in and make sure your printer is set correctly. What you can then do, if you want to bring up the history to have a peek at, you can double click on the animal's name and it will then go through for the history. You can just look in at the last consult. So if they've tied this to the proper consult when that was originally made, that will show you those consult notes. It will actually bring them up partly on the page, or you can go into the animal. To see what has been requested, you just double click into the line. It should come up with the date the request was done. You will then need to change the prescriber to yourself because you're the one prescribing it, not that we're sending things out with just random generics on there. It'll have the name, the animal, the client. It will say which consult it's being tied to. You can then, if you're saying no chance this person needs seeing, we can put that on and request it. I think when we're declining meds saying no, this needs seeing, I think we are going to be better buzzing through to reception and letting them know that, or even going into the client and you can send them an SMS and say actually from the vet that we need seeing, or you can pick up the phone, whichever way. But I think just putting it in and updating it and leaving it there is going to cause people to not spot it. You can then check the drug, check the quantity. If it's refillable and you're happy, please fill these in. The more times we fill these things in, the more times that we will then find that actually we're not being asked the same message over and over again. Check the dosage instructions make sense. If you check the notes, you'll know it's right. If you're not sure, then you may have to reopen a window. If you don't want to go out of this screen, just open another tab in Google. You can have several actual proper ezyvet tabs so you can flip between things if you need. And if you know this person needs something else at the same time, or there's two separate bits that have come in at separate times, you can just add more meds on there. Once you're happy with what is on there, you can go approve and dispense. Then will disappear and it doesn't print a label. Not sure why it doesn't give you the option straight away, but it doesn't. What you can do to then be a good egg, because you can then press hide approved, it will pop up the ones that are done. You know you've just done this one, so you can then go into that. You can then update, dispense and print, and it will fire a label out across the way. I'm going to cancel it so I don't send a pointless label out. And then when you're done with all the ones that you've just done and you've been in and printed them all off, you can hide the approved to make it small again. And that will make life easier for all of us. Thank you.